What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Trey, and as usual, hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. And as you can see, we got a couple fellas on the screen. Listen, y'all have seen these two before, so we're going to start it off with him. You prefer Devin or Gavion? Which one you, which?
Devin.
Yeah, okay, I ain't know, because you got to ask, you know what I'm saying? Devin, how's everything with you, bro?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming on to the show, balancing it out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We got a couple brown skins right here, some light skins, balancing it out. Something like
My dog.
I appreciate it. Nick, how's everything with you, bro?
Everything's going well. You made that Drake ass comment, man.
That Drake ass comment. I see you, Kendrick. I see you, Kendrick.
Damn right.
Chris, how's everything with you, bro?
I'm chilling.
Okay, I love that short and sweet, straight to the point. I appreciate that. We're going to try and keep our conversation kind of like what Chris did. But I'm going to be honest with you. All of us love to talk. So I'm going to apologize in advance if we get a little long-winded, maybe go on a couple tangents. We're trying to, and he just met him. That's crazy. I wasn't even going to say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, we already on the tangent. So look, we'll just do it like this, right? He's a Ravens fan, okay? He's a whatever. Now, he's a Saints fan. Y'all know I'm a Panthers fan. He's a Steelers fan. So we're going to try to talk about these teams, but also the NFL as well. So I got a question for you guys. We're not going to start off with any of these teams, but Jimmy G. Chris, I'm going to swing it to you.
Mm-hmm.
How do you pause? Jimmy G. There we go. Because, you know, he's called porn star Jimmy. I don't want to do that to him.
I'm swinging over there.
You know what I'm saying? All right. So when I think of this situation, this gives me Eagles vibes when they won the Super Bowl. Because you had a MVP candidate in wins, and you had Nick Foles, who backed him up quite nicely, right? Well, I don't. All right, so I don't want to say Stafford's an MVP candidate. But a couple weeks ago, I did put money that they was going to win the Super Bowl next season. So I believe in them a little bit when they got the right environment. And we've seen Jimmy G be productive. Do you think he's going to be a key reason? Not a key reason. Do you think he's going to be a reason why the Rams can make some noise this coming playoffs?
No.
Straight to the point. What's your main reason why then? Because I feel he could.
Until Sam Bradford called this a career, whoever is leading your QB, that's the person that you stick with.
You mean Matt?
Yeah.
I mean, Matt.
I was about to say, Sam Bradford back in the league, boy. Get out of here, man. No, hey, keep it the buck, though. I used to definitely interchange them a lot. Only reason why I don't think Sam Bradford anymore, because I don't know where he is. Like, I at least heard that. But okay, because again, going back to that whole Eagles-Nick Foles thing, I'm not trying to wish this on Matt, but like, you know, injuries do happen in football quite often.
They do.
And Jimmy G was possibly the poster boy for that program for a little bit. So like now you coming into playoffs, or at least a latter part of the season, let's say, and you're healthy. I don't know. You still say no? You don't like that situation for?
It's tough because Jimmy, he been like bouncing around like team to team.
Mm.
But you in a situation where you are backing up a future Hall of Famer and Matthew Stafford, flat out.
You think he's a Hall of Famer?
That's tough. That's tough.
Not first battle, but
He might get in there.
He might get in there.
Okay.
We're not just going to, forget his Detroit days, too.
Correct. No, correct.
He made Detroit a Washington team.
Him and Calvin did, yeah. Yeah, him and Calvin did.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's there just to be there. He's not there just to be a backup.
They're not gonna bank. You feel like they're not gonna bank on him at all. That's tough, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie. I would assume they brought him in for a reason. Everybody needs a quality backup QB. Do either one of y'all feel differently about what Chris just said? If not, we can speed past it. If so, though, let's talk about it.
To be fair, no, not really.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Same. I I'll add a little bit more to just the simple no. Is I don't think that Jimmy G necessarily like adds to it. I think what we're forgetting to mention is a lot of what the Rams are known for offensively is not a Matthew Stafford or Jimmy G or even a back, whoever the other back was, Sensen Bennett, who used to be on that team. Whoever you put in there, it's like the 49ers. It's like, thank you. It's not the quarterback. It's like the 49ers. It's the Shanahan McVay. McVay is the guy that makes this whole thing run. So in my mind, I don't think it matters who you put in. If anything, if you're putting Jimmy G in to be the backup quarterback, what is the backup quarterback's job most of the time? Not to play on the field, but to be reading the field and be like, okay, this is the communication between quarterback, head coach. I understand the system because McVay used to work with Shanahan when they was back in Washington. Back in 2013, a lot of those guys, they all come from the same tree. So that's why I think him coming there, it kind of makes sense because he understands the offense a little bit, but he's not there to really like be the Nick Foles and save the team.
Okay. That's tough. I at least
the same quarterback he was back in 2018, 19?
I don't know. I feel like he's like he did. I thought he was all right, like not too long ago.
He's still a game manager.
Well, that's all I need though. If I'm getting a backup quarterback, that's all I'm depending on my backup quarterback. But I've also seen him lead a team too, so I think he actually might play a more important role than people give him credit for. But I hate to say this, it does depend on Matthew Stafford's injury as well too, because Matt has been throwing the football. So, but like yeah. So that
in the past life, but at the same time, we've also seen that son-in-law push through a bunch of injuries. Finished out seasons. He really hasn't missed any games.
That's fair. All right, I get that too. That's fair.
To add to that, do you feel like you're doing your team though as a whole a disservice when you know you probably are not? Like I know we always have this thing, especially in football. I used to play sport too. It's like you play through injuries a lot of the time, but what does it take when you're like I use an example. There's a guy back in the day who tried to play through a vertebrae issue, messed up back basically, fractured, and his performance just was not there. At what point do you say,
and that's enough for me to take
I'm doing more harm than good, like for your quarterback?
That's a true statement. I mean, I think in that regard, I think Matt Stafford, especially in his Detroit days, didn't necessarily trust that if he was off the field, a backup would perform higher than him and his injured self, right? Him at 80% was still better than a backup at 100%.
But right? I think
is signing Jimmy G going to really fix that discrepancy?
I think it does, though. But I understand a little trepidation. I'm just thinking Jimmy G might not be able to last the whole season, but for a short stint, we can get that done. And I've seen what he has done in a competent system, like you said to your point.
Which is fair.
It might not
have that rapport with Cooper. Does he have that rapport with Cooper?
I think he's enough of a professional to learn to get that rapport with those players. And again, because you don't have you can be working for months with these boys. It's not like you got to start week one. If we're talking week one, all right, that's a different discussion. Yeah, but you get time to work with them. I understand they still got to work with Stafford, but they've worked with him before, so maybe you can scale some time back and work with them. But I'm also trying to talk up these Rams right now because I just want my FanDuel parlay to hit. That's why I'm trying to go for it. That's really the crux of it. But what we're gonna do is, Chris, hit us with some would you rather's right fast. Because I know I saw you over there scratching.
So honestly, it's not a would you rather. I want y'all to pick one Hall of Fame player that you would want to have on your team right now.
Ooh. I mean,
that's a lot. My team, oh God, we need so much.
Matter of fact, I'll flip it.
No, let's just stick with. Save that for the next question. Then save this one for the next question. Yeah. So let's stick with this one. Pick one person, I guess. Offense or defense? It don't matter.
It don't matter.
Okay.
I mean, that's bold. I mean, I guess right now, given the Steelers situation, I would pick
Ray Lewis.
Dang.
You need
Ray Lewis wouldn't be a bad pick, but honestly, I'm going to take it back.
Don't say it.
May he rest in peace.
Yes.
Give me Reggie White.
I knew it. I knew you was going to say Reggie.
Mm-hmm. Give me Reggie White. If we have Patrick Queen, if we have somebody causing havoc in the middle of the field, and we got Binka Fitzpatrick, Reggie White, Joey Porter Jr., and now Dante Jackson back there, I trust. And you got TJ on the other side. Come on.
Yeah.
That defense,
That's
that's
not
the
bad.
curtain.
That's not bad.
That's almost, I would say, reminiscent to like, I don't want to put y'all on the 2000 Ravens, but when you think about it,
How
you
about
had all those
2005
pieces.
Steelers, 2008 Steelers?
But I'm just saying that 2000s Ravens defense is literally like
Go
a Hall of Fame
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
You had everybody.
Yeah.
85
Y'all
Bears,
were
2000 Ravens.
kind of cheating a little bit. Who would you pick for your team then?
My team like yours, we got a bunch of holes.
Y'all at least look better than us though.
But you got to think about who would be the quickest fix.
Yeah, we just need one person.
I can't fix bad quarterback play.
I mean, you can.
Bring in a Hall of Famer. Like
Bring in Dan Marino, see what he does.
let Taysom running some more. Like
I want to go offensive and fix the quarterback, but I would say, because my team is defensive first, I would like a pass rusher in like a Lawrence Taylor on my team.
okay.
Given
That's filthy.
given where Cam Newton, given where Cam Jordan is right now up in age, and we have a lot of these defensive end pass rushers right now that are just they're rotational guys. There hasn't been that other person to really solidify that right side of the field consistently.
That I understand for sure. I'd say like because
Huh.
that really
I can
takes
see
care
that.
of two layers of the defense.
Mhm.
That's good linebacker play.
Yeah.
all
Okay.
over.
Okay. I ain't got nobody. I ain't gonna hold you. We got too much stuff to fix. I don't even know a good O line, like which position I want to take the most, like center maybe, but
I think for your team, you don't need a Hall of Fame player. You need a Hall of Fame owner.
Yeah.
What's David Tepper doing now?
can I count anybody as a Hall of Fame owner then? Just get Buddy out at this point in time.
Yeah.
Because we're making bad moves after bad moves after bad moves, and I'm just not really feeling the
You can
direction.
resurrect Mr. Rooney. Give him
Let me see. Mr. Rudy. Yeah, who you got, Chris? I
definitely do want a DB. And you know exactly where I'm going.
Has he already played for your team?
Give me Troy Polamalu.
I respect Troy.
I'm flattered.
I respect
That's a
Troy.
Ravens fan telling me to take Troy over Ed.
I was about to
That's
say,
pretty-
like, you
that's
don't play
pretty-
Troy
that's pretty
Polamalu
crazy.
over Ed Reed?
Hey, I love Ed.
Hey, I like
love
Troy
Ed.
cool with me.
I'm
biased.
That's
though,
a great.
but
That's my dog
He's
until
from
I
my
got.
city, bro.
I understand. That's my dog until
I'm not
I
mad
got.
at that.
But it's just something about Troy when it comes down to a crucial play or a crucial pick. I trust Troy over Ed, but it's by a hair.
I respect that.
I respect it. I respect it.
That's
I respect it. So then, okay,
I mean, there's
okay.
no linebacker that's played better in the AFC North than Ray Lewis. So it's like I respect.
You know what I'm saying? Like it is pretty cool that y'all are able to pick the same from each other's team essentially. That's kind of nice. It's also good that y'all are in positions to only be able to pick one player and make something work.
Yeah.
Trifling. So we're gonna, change topics like that. Okay, we're gonna do it like that. Cause that was it kind of made me a little depressed.
Are you a small to mid-sized business in the DMV? Do you want to transform technology into a power tool that moves your business forward? What about cost-effective and time efficiency? Then Elite IT can help. We're confident Elite IT offers the best network services, computer support, or general IT consulting in the DMV. With services such as managed IT, cloud, cybersecurity solutions, hardware and software procurement, data backup and recovery, and surveillance, Elite IT is a one-stop shop that offers quick and proactive response times, a reputable brand, along with experienced and business-savvy professionals. So come on down. You're only one click away from making your IT systems elite.
But maybe not as much as how you would have been a couple months ago.
True. Yes.
'Cause-
feeling a lot better.
Yeah, because you said a couple months ago that Kenny Pickett is about to be that guy. And you were right. You didn't finish that sentence and saying that guy is about to get traded.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
So he flew his ass onto the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh.
Yep.
So are you satisfied with trading away Kenny Pickett and bringing in Russell Wilson? Do you feel like y'all were a quarterback away from really making noise to I don't even know what would your ceiling be,
The
like
writing was
realistically?
on the wall. I mean, a change of scenery for Kenny Pickett
Needed to
was just
happen.
as important as us getting a more stable quarterback situation.
Okay.
You know, he had already developed all these terrible habits from being under this atrocious offensive coordinator. You know, the Kevin Colbert era is over. Speaking of Troy, respect to you, Kevin, for all you did for our franchise, but you were losing it in those last couple of years, and our franchise was tanking. Because for the longest time, we followed that standard of being, you know, we bring someone in, loyalty, we don't do any deals in the offseason, we're not really attacking the free agent market, we're not making trades, no splash plays, we keep it in-house, we develop in-house, we play in-house. And it worked for a long time, it did, right? But that's not the modern wave of football, because we weren't thinking in the new wave of football, you know, in this more air raid style of offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's more West Coast style offense becoming more rampant, running back usage disappearing, right? We weren't accounting for those things, both defensively and offensively. So thank God for the con artist himself, Omar Khan, coming in and deciding we need to throw away the book, because we keep getting to the playoffs, losing, and now we have a middle of the pack draft pick. We're just going to be stuck in this endless cycle.
Yeah.
How do we break that cycle?
Tough being in purgatory.
Tough being in purgatory. And so it was time for us to flip the script. Kenny Pickett was just the latest victim of that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He wasn't good enough to warrant more development.
Okay. So it sounds like you kind of down on Pickett. You're not picking Pickett anymore. All right. Devin.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep it still related. All right, fellas. But we're going to flip it because my boys did get a little active in this here free agency. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you said you had a little situation, something negative to say about my boys getting Deontay Johnson? Like one for the people who ain't watched Deontay, don't be mad. I'm more of a basketball fan myself. So I don't really know as much as I'd like to know about you. I know you cool. I also know too it's a little risky if we get him because he's on the 1 year deal right now. Last year of his deal. So hype him up for me right fast, you know, give me an elevator pitch, but then also spit me the real fast. See, I did that, ladies and gentlemen, because he like talk. But then after that, tell me and explain to me why you feel like tell me and explain to me why you feel like we lost the trade because you made that announcement and caught my attention.
Okay, well,
I would have kept it with him on Steelers, but you said that specifically.
Your boy Nick over here smirking when you asked me to hype up Deontay. He ain't got nothing nice to say about Deontay either.
That's why I swung it to you. Like, go ahead.
I will say this. I'll speak from a fantasy standpoint, right? I had Deontay Johnson on my fantasy league this past season.
Okay.
His production, unfortunately, was not there. And if it was production, it was inconsistent. I have a thing with consistency out of not only players, but the team in general. And I just think, you know, when you made that trade for him, I was looking at it like, what? Because in my mind, I don't think you guys have had the best lull of trades y'all have made. I did not think you getting rid of Brian Burns, who was the only stud you had on that defense.
Brother, we are trying to talk about Deontay Johnson right now. Do not kick a man while he's down. Do not kick a man while he's down.
Y'all let Brian Burns out, and then you trade away Deontay Jackson, who's also a fellow LSU. So I'm a little biased. He's an LSU guy. Y'all sent him over to Pittsburgh, and he wasn't even a problem for your defense. And then you bring in someone. I understand the purpose of wanting to bring in weapons for Bryce Young, but I'm also looking at it like, what
are those adequate weapons?
It's not just the weapons that you need; it's the type of player that you're getting in return for it. And Deontay is someone that was already not the most productive when he was in Pittsburgh. So what do you expect? How do you expect that to change with him coming over to a team that, no offense, has not been consistent in recent years, and it has a new change at head coach and general management? We're waiting to see how that's going to play out. And I found this out, like, Dave Canales did a great job in his history with quarterbacks. You look at Geno Smith when he was in Seattle that 1 year, and then you look at this past year with Baker Mayfield. Mm-hmm. But even still, this past year with Baker Mayfield, that offense as a whole still was only 20th in total ranking. And the thing that killed them was the rushing game. Rashad White couldn't run the ball. They were like dead last in that. So I'm looking at okay, is Miles Sanders, is his production going to be where it needs to be? Because I don't think he's been the same since he left Philly.
I've been waiting for something positive for this man to say, and I haven't heard anything. Like, you've been talking for 15 minutes now, all negative. Like, yeah, Deontay, this is your number one hater right here. That's what I'm hearing. Because I asked this man for something positive, and he could not. He said I picked him up for fantasy, and I guess I was still fantasizing about him playing well. Like, that's crazy. That is disgusting. So nothing good at all.
Okay,
So it is.
If
like,
you want something good to say, I
give me
will say
something,
this: he has
please.
the potential. You have the potential to be
Oh,
consistently elite.
Negativity.
I'm not gonna make
his
it all
facial
negative.
expression. He said, like, I wish you
We're playing
would.
potential, right? This guy has the potential to prove me wrong in my analysis of him right now. This is the thing. I always look at it like my day to day, right? I may have a bad day one day, but I always think fresh 24 when I wake up the next morning. I got a fresh 24 to make my day different. You have a fresh 24 now. You're in a new location, new team, new way of doing things. You have that opportunity now to be not just a wide receiver on a team, but maybe even potentially wide receiver one. You're not. You don't have a George Pickens, and you don't have who else is on the field? I don't know. I only know George Pickens.
All right, I can't take too much. I was really hoping. I thought this was about to be so much different of a conversation. I swear to you, all I've heard was negative. I can't take it because I just endured a whole year worth of negativity. So now I just took another 20 hours worth of negativity right here. Like, that is crazy.
I mean, bro,
like, I was again, lie to me, please, lie to them. No, I'm playing. No, so serious, in a serious note, I'm hearing no number one options. Can we at least get a number two option? Is that fair? Just yes or no? It can't just
for Deontay.
Yeah, for Deontay. Can he be a quality number two? Silence is golden. Okay, so
I'll say this: if he can be better at I just need consistency out of him. I think he could be better than what you got out of Adam Thielen.
Okay.
I'll even throw DJ Chark out there.
I thought he was about to say DJ Moore, brother. I was about to be.
I don't have DJ Moore.
That's what I was saying because I just knew you were trying to kick me while I was down some more. All right, cool. See, he does it again. Chris, go ahead and go to the would you rather, brother, because I can already check because he's a Saints fan, I'm a Panthers fan. He know we don't mix well. What you got for us on the would you rather, bro? And I don't know if y'all know this, ladies and gentlemen, the would you rather is a solid transition between topics. So there you go. But what you got for us, my boy?
Would you rather have Michael Vick or would you have Tom Brady?
Yes. Yes. No, I'm having Vic on my squad. But I think Vic can actually, and it's going to be weird to say this, right?
Yeah.
I think off talent, Vic can take his team a little further than the GOAT. And it's weird to say that, too. I hate it. But off ability, like Mike Vick can throw the ball.
Yeah.
And that brother can run far better than Tom. And I can't say Tom can throw the ball far better than Vic. So I got to lean Vic in that scenario. That's how I view it. But if you want to go off career, it would be foolish to say Vic over Tom Brady. But again, I'm thinking player.
I think the commitment that Tom Brady brought to the game of football,
he
actually got faster over the course of his career. You never see nothing like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some talk that, there's a man who ran like a 5.30, 40 or something in Michigan. And there's talk that now at 46, he could run like a sub.
Yeah, did you see the video that he put out? So they replayed his 40 at 46 compared to when he was 22, and he was slightly faster at 46 than he was at 23.
He actually gained a step. That man did everything in his power, followed a model's diet just so he could get his body in tip-top shape, his fat percentage on his body. His knowledge of the game.
I'm picking Brady.
I think that if you have a competent enough, see now, You know,
That's why
let me not get accusatory or attacked. So I'll just say this: I would pick Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I'm picking Brady. Man.
see.
Hey, I love Mike Vick. I love his story. Man,
Don't give him
If I got
Belichick
autograph Falcons jersey,
after you just said Brady. Cool. So here's my thing.
but hey, I was
So-
at Tech too, so I got love for Mike Vick just from that standpoint. Also, you know, it's a hard thing to sell,
that's
but
my guy.
But like, imagine a world where there's no, you got a low tier coach, okay? Because that's what like at least Tom Brady had a competent system around him, competent environment around him. And I heard one of his teammates say, "Well, we didn't have to rely on Tom. Tom relied on us, his team. We can't say that about Mike Vick. So that's why when you saying like, who would you rather have? Well, if I put Mike Vick in Bill Belichick's team, maybe not system, might have to tweak it, but like it's a different team. Like that's a much scarier squad because now you got a top tier defense backing up Mike Vick, who was elite, arguably the best player in football.
The only issue is if Boston or Foxborough, if they was not as quote unquote racist, I can see where you're going with it.
They lessen it once you win that Super Bowl.
but
You win, they don't do
Hey, winning solves all.
Richard Sherman said it best. People do treat you a lot different.
Yeah.
When you win.
Mhm.
But I will throw it
Definitely.
back at you like this. I think because you're talking about the system and what he had as a whole. Do you think Bill Belichick is as elite of a head coach
Be careful.
without Tom Brady? Because I'm going to flip it like this. Mike Vick, when he came back, who did he go to?
Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm.
And look at Andy Reid and his resume. And even with
But like
Yeah,
to be
I'm
fair,
just saying,
I can't say. I'm just say this. I can't say. I feel like that's a little unfair.
Tom Brady and Bill Belichick won the Super Bowl.
And Tom Brady is still there though.
Michael Vick and
but he went to Andy Reid, who's now still winning Super Bowls with Mahomes.
But he was close. He also had a mean hiatus. Like imagine Vic with time now to be with a coach for his entire career. Imagine Vic in his prime not having to carry the squad solely.
Well, of course. But is that not what Tom Brady did? We saw him for
I don't think
almost 17, 18 years with New England. And then what did he do?
because the truth is,
The year after.
But I think he had. So you remember you were talking about consistency earlier?
Mhm.
I think this helps your narrative out a little bit more. Tom had a more consistent environment around him.
Mhm.
I get you on the change up, but for me, I guess I don't hold it on Vic. I don't hold it against Vic because of what happened. He went to prison,
Of course,
then
yeah,
comes
different
back.
circumstances.
Yeah,
It's-
so
it's definitely also a mental thing battle that I think Vic had to go through. It wasn't
Yeah.
just getting back in the game of football and finding a love for it. It was also, you know, he had to go through a really tough situation.
Yeah.
You know, not to get too off topic, but I do believe there is because I've been caught up in the system as well, where I feel like there is a systematic effort to destroy of any black male entertainer's image. It's like there's a system out there that just wants us all to have an actor aspired name. And I can point out whether it's Michael Vick, Michael Jackson, Kobe Bryant, Reggie Bush, like we got a full list going. I can maybe name one white athlete with an actress, and that's Ben Roethlisberger. No offense. Manziel?
yeah, I mean, Menzel, yeah, okay, but it won't.
Friends in passing, no one brings up. You know,
And Menzel don't really get brought up nowadays. He actually got a whole Netflix documentary.
Oh
on
yeah,
him. Like,
And he was on Club Shake
Yeah.
as well.
yeah. So I mean, it did turn out a little different for him. Okay,
Yeah.
that was. So moral of the story. All y'all picking Brady. I'm picking Vic.
Yeah.
I get it too though, because again, talking about the career, I appreciate you on the intangibles piece mentioned earlier. I get what y'all are saying wholeheartedly. I just saw that brother Vic go at us a couple times every season, and I'm like, I wish he was on my team. I wish he was on my team, man. We could have you know what I'm saying?
Walk-off wild card win, making them two Vikings run into each other and bump heads. That's an all-time great play I've ever seen in a football game. I mean, that right there was probably the greatest run, in my opinion, of all time. I would dare say that. And to be honest with you, like Michael Vick, again, signed Falcons jersey, I would appreciate it. But, what's it called? Time is the test of, man. And the truth is that, it wasn't a sustained career for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Brady,
he just kept it going.
He kept it going. He got better.
I tell you what, because I feel like that's a solid topic that we can actually invest in, because it also leads into a little bit of Lamar Jackson as well, because play styles, right?
That's what I was about to bring up. I think a better argument instead of, it's like Mike Vick versus Tom Brady. It's almost Lamar Jackson versus Mike Mahomes.
Yeah, but I mean, that, like I said, that's going to be another topic for another day. I just wish that we had somehow, someway got Mike Vick during free agency. But speaking of free agency, though,
Hooping is an activity that can be enjoyed by all. It's a team game about getting and stopping buckets. Everyone's always rushing to the gold. Well, make sure to rush and watch Team Gold Rush, one of the best teams in the Special Olympics of Virginia. Team Gold Rush even has former NBA All-Star participants on the team. Clearly, they've struck gold. Ready to suit up and practice? I know. We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Practice still makes perfect. So when the opponent starts hitting their shots, Team Gold Rush can bounce back due to their training. Remember, offense sells tickets and defense wins championships. Watch us get a bucket and rush for the gold. We aim to be that gold standard. So want a team where you can win and have fun? Team Gold Rush is your number one.
I just got a couple questions here, fellas. I don't know how y'all feel about these players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chris, we're going to start it off with you. Tyron Smith, the offensive tackle. Last time I checked, he was on the Cowboys. Where's the best fit for Tyron Smith outside of my Panthers? You can get ample playing time. I swear to God. Like, one team. Best fit for Tyron Smith.
Probably want to get judged. You probably want to judge me. I think you may not judge me, but whatever. I can see him with the 49ers.
49ers?
I can see him with the 49ers.
Interesting.
Here's why I say that. You don't know how much longer Trent Williams is going to have. And that's one Hall of Fame. You bring in another Hall of Fame to take his spot.
Okay, so 49ers.
Okay.
All right, really quickly. Does anybody have a better answer? Oh, no, I'm sorry. A better answer. Do y'all feel like that's the best situation? Do y'all agree, or do y'all feel like it's a...
I would play devil's advocate with the logic behind it.
Okay, so you have a different answer then.
I don't know. I would say I don't know necessarily if Tyrod, if you plug him into that.
We need a yes or no on this one.
Spot. I just don't know if that's really if you're because how old is Tyrod now? He's in his 30s now.
30,
similar to Trent
33.
Williams. So what are you really getting of value placing him and replacing him with Trent Williams? And also Tyrod has been more injury prone than Trent Williams has in his NFL.
That's true.
Okay.
So are you really getting
So then
better?
who's your best? Where's the best fit then for Tyron?
That's real tough. Honestly, I can't.
You can't answer. Okay.
I can't answer. I think.
I'm about to say, he got his.
I mean, I think it would honestly just be any team that's like really like offensive line hungry for like an offensive tackle.
Okay.
Your team or the Commanders. Anybody.
Okay.
I mean, I do want to say the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Still okay.
But
Biased.
That's not
Okay.
going to be what I'm going to say. That's biased. That's not what we do here. I would say the Chicago Bears.
Bears.
That's a good
Let
one.
him protect Caleb Williams.
Okay.
Ooh,
So they
Damn.
want to trade Justin Fields.
That leads into another question I was going to ask.
Cool.
Cool.
And
Bears.
then he's going to do what Trent has done for Brock Purdy.
Interesting. So
Mhm.
Bears and 49ers. All right. So Tyron, I guess you got some choices. Give the Panthers a look see, but after that, Bears or 49ers. That might be all right. That might be all right. Chase Young.
Ooh.
We got the next one. Edge. You know what I'm talking about? He was on the 49. Edge rusher. So he's being replaced by Tyron Smith, according to Chris. Not position, but at least free agent for free agent. Where you think the best fit for Chase Young is? Best, not this or that. Top.
I don't want to say it because I'll say it because I know my team needs it, and I'm gonna say that the Saints could really use. We need a pass rusher right now to compete alongside Cam Jordan now, and he's visited with my team today, I believe. Now, where I'll have a little bit of pushback against that idea, as much as I like Chase Young as a person, and I think it would be a good fit because a lot of his old teammates from Ohio State are on my team currently. The thing that I would push back on is, like I was telling your boy earlier, was effort. When you look back at Chase Young, it's like the talent there, the prototype, everything is there, but the effort when he gets off the ball, it really leaves me scratching my head. And yeah, he half-asses a lot of the effort. Like I went back and looked at the highlights earlier today from the Super Bowl, and there were a lot of times you see Chase Young get off the ball, but then he's jogging towards where the quarterback is. He's not rushing like Nick Bosa is. Nick Bosa, he's still trying to chase down Mahomes. You see Chase Young just kind of jogging towards wherever the ball is. He's not. Where's the drive? Where's the hunger? Like I question whether or not
he got all the physical tools, not the intangibles.
But does he want to be a winner? Like
lacking intangibles is pretty big. I also want to note too, he's 25, so I get you from a timing perspective. I'm going back to when I'm 25. Man, I was immature. I ain't want to practice as much as on things that I'm doing. So I do understand that part.
Yeah.
And that is the fair point to bring up. You got to bring up intangibles. That's why when you were talking about Brady earlier, I was like,
yeah,
I do get that.
And I think, I was going to add to it. I think it doesn't help that, like, I could understand maybe taking more of a chance on a guy, like if he was still with the Commanders, because the Commanders as a whole, the organization just needed a lot of work. And I could see maybe why he wasn't as productive as he needed. But you got traded to a team that was a winning organization and a winning team that went all the way to the Super Bowl. But you still didn't really you still were kind of giving a half-ass effort. Even in the Super Bowl, it was like, what are you doing? Like, do you not want to like continue your career? Like, what matters to you?
It's starting to sound like you think he need to take a hiatus from football, come back in a year or so, like mature up. That's what I'm hearing. Because
it could also be maybe he just needs to be in the right situation. I know.
So what?
I know that.
Is that y'all's situation? Is that y'all team? Because you did say your team. That was the only team you listed, I think.
I mean, the Ravens need to be pass rusher. I mean, what's going to happen with Jadeveon Clowney? Are you guys going to resign Jadeveon Clowney?
You got a little life over there. You got a little life over there. Steelers fan, would that be the best fit for you for Chase Young?
The Ravens?
Yeah.
I keep picking AFC North teams, but I would actually say the Packers. Put him in a situation where he's got nothing to do outside of football. Put him in a situation where he's there hungry, fighting in the dogs and the wolves with a lot of other cats who are trying to become the guy, the pass rushing guy in Green Bay.
Interesting.
And they just, Lucas Van Ness, right? They want him to come on the scene and become the guy. So now you got to fight for that spot. It's not guaranteed that you're going to be the lead pass rusher.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
I like Packers. I like a Packers. I like something like the Texans.
The Texans just made some pass rushing moves though. They got Daniel Hunter, so they don't really need an edge rusher like Chase Young. But I will say, I think him with the Raiders and Antonio Pierce and what he brings to the table as a coach, I think that would also be a good spot for Chase Young, just to have that guy that the players respect. And like you saw the change from Josh McDumbass to Antonio Pierce as the head coach, and how much the players started to want to play for that.
I could see the Raiders being a little better noise if they improved the quarterback play just a little bit.
That brings me to another point.
Yeah, but that I'm about to say let's
did you put your hat in the ring on Chase Young? Because I know he said Ravens, and we did say best fit. So do you agree?
Even though he's a mail-in favorite, I would say a mail-in and resident, I definitely do got a team that could fit him perfectly. The Jets.
Okay.
They are already a running team.
Mm-hmm.
You put Chase with that suffocating defense.
So
I think
that'd
that
be
I could see
interesting.
that working just because they did just trade away Huff to the Eagles.
Mhm.
Okay.
they
So it
do
sound
have
like
a gap to fill on the defensive line.
So it sounds like Chase got a lot more options than Tyrod. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
there's
an
an 8 year.
age
I mean, there's
thing.
an 8 year age
Yeah.
gap too. So I'll do throw that out there.
The only thing in question is, can he actually like
Pick it up.
yes?
It's got to be the right head coach. And I think the
And
Packers
you win.
bring a lot of the young talent.
Okay.
I say
The
like
Raiders are dogs, and
Mhm.
the Jets. Robert Saleh. You don't let that defense slap. You know, I can tell
And
that.
that's why I
It
think the
almost
Saints
seems
would
like they
make sense
practice
too,
the
because
defense.
DA takes pride in that defensive side of the ball for the Saints. So you know he's not gonna. Ty Grantham is not the type of defensive lineman that's gonna.
Yep.
Like
We about to transition on to the next. I ain't mean to cut y'all off, but we've been talking about we've been talking about Chase for a little too long.
We good.
I'm gonna make this one my final one here for this because we got other things we're gonna talk about. Mike Williams. I wanted to bring. There's a lot of people on this list too that I was going to choose from. You know, Jadeveon Clowney was up there, but Mike has been someone interesting to me because he seems like a wide receiver number one that constantly gets injured. Age 29. So for wide receivers, wide receivers, they snap early on and then start to taper off right after that 7-year mark. So we starting to look at that taper off year.
That's crazy.
So
I mean, it would make sense.
we just doing all the they need wide receiver.
we get all the lesser talent. All right, I guess I put quotations around that because he still needs to come. He still can potentially come to the Panthers. So I definitely put quotations around that. But there's injury history that we got to factor in. I'm not mad at Mike. I think that would be a good situation for him because there's no pressure. So you get to cool. Do y'all also agree, Panthers? And this time it actually seems genuine, I guess.
I mean, even though he went to Clemson, but he's somewhat back close to home. So
You think that works out in us signing him because he went to Clemson?
kinda.
So that's okay.
Kinda.
I think bringing him in on the growth at the second year could break for Bryce Young. For getting Deontay Johnson and getting Adam Thielen and saying, here are two people who will take some pressure off you so you can shine down the field.
Give him a chance, yeah.
Because to me, Mike Williams is one of the best contested catch receivers in football when he's healthy.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm gonna throw a curveball out there. Jacksonville.
They got an opening. They do have an opening.
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley's gone. He's going to Tennessee.
But they got Gabe.
But Gabe is an inconsistent wide receiver.
Okay,
That's another one.
fair.
Can we have too many good wide receivers though? I guess like that maybe.
Yeah, you can. And then also, if you want to compare, if you look at the stats, I mean, Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence are kind of similar with the way that they've been producing on the field. Could that be
Also similar styles of play?
And I think personally, you have a better head
They
coach.
need to start
and
talking about
offensive
Trevor a
play
little
caller
bit
in
more.
Doug Peterson than you did when you was in LA with the Chargers. So could that also play a factor in him maybe choosing Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So-
I'm glad you said Jacksonville because people don't realize Trevor Lawrence was Mike Williams' quarterback.
There you go.
People want to.
So you have the continuity there. You don't lose a step.
And plus you got on Travis Etienne in the background.
Travis,
Mm-hmm.
brother, I picked him up on fantasy accidentally, and I said thank you. He carried me a little bit.
I like that.
I appreciate it. Now that was a good one. That was. I ain't gonna lie. You said I got a little question. You got a little curveball. I got nervous. I got a little nervous, brother. That was good. That was you still got drink in your cup. Good stuff. I'm dealing with two alcoholics over here because they've been finished their drink after the first. I was like, damn, that's crazy. But what we gonna do is, I mean, you got another would you rather? If not, that's cool because we do have a NFC South talk that I do want to ask him real fast.
The I'm Perfectly Made Foundation believes that routine screenings can save lives and that access to these services should not be a barrier. Our mission is to promote eye health education, free eye exams, free eye screenings, and free glasses to our communities with the focus of highlighting early detection. The I'm Perfectly Made Foundation also gives individuals with low vision and blindness the opportunities to be a part of certain community events, regardless of visual impairments.
All right. Like I told y'all, we're NFC South fans, right?
AFC North
Panthers,
is way better.
Panthers, Saints. You said Falcons and Saints are going to be the divisional winners next year, like in contention.
I think they would be the ones in contention. Not because I'm biased. I want to, again, like you said, we don't do the bias stuff. I love my team, don't get me wrong, but I'm also having a love-hate relationship with them. Because as much as I would love my team to win, I don't like.
Well,
this isn't just me saying it.
Well, I mean those two specifically fighting for that top spot, right?
If you just look at the way that they piece their teams together, you look at I just look at the defense and offense as a whole.
Yeah.
I'll start with the Falcons. The Falcons, they get rid of Arthur Smith. They bring in Raheem Morris, who was well respected, coming back in as a head coach in his own right from the Rams. And you saw the defense that he was able to put together with all those rookies and no names. And the only person that you really knew on that team was Aaron Donald. Everybody else was basically like just fill-ins. And you saw how they got better and morphed into what they were in that playoff run. And then on top of that, what does he do? He brings in one of the top offensive coordinator candidates in Zach Robinson, who worked very closely with Sean McVay. So you know that they're going to bring that, top tier like offensive system over there to the Falcons. And what do they have that they're going to piece that offense around? You got Kyle Pitts, you got Drake London, Bijan Robinson. Now you go and you get Kirk Cousins, who is really familiar with that type of offensive system and knows how to disperse the ball across the field because he's not really a elusive quarterback like dual threat quarterback. So he's going to just stay in the pocket and just go boom, boom, boom. And then on the flip side, the Saints, right? You have the Falcons with the defensive head coach. You have the Saints with the defensive minded head coach, and Dennis Allen, who's also really elite in his own right on that side of the ball. What does he do? He goes and finds the other top offensive candidate search out there in Clint Kubiak, who comes from the Shanahan tree. And you saw what he was able to do as the passing game coordinator out there. How much of that, obviously Kyle runs a lot of that stuff, but to be in that status at that point in time, and he has play calling experience when he was with the Vikings, and his father being the real respected as he was in Gary Kubiak, I think that shows, a lot as far as what he's going to bring to the table with this new offensive philosophy. Because I think the problem that my Saints had was you had, a guy in Pete Carmichael, but Carmichael was always that guy that was just like the back end of Sean Payton. Sean Payton was the primary play caller. Pete was just the guy designing the plays. He knew how to design it. There's nothing wrong with that, but you can't always,
pick and choose.
Yeah, you can't always pick and choose. They just worked really well together. And then when one part was gone, the other just didn't work.
So they both kind of built pretty decently.
They're both built pretty decently.
Okay.
I think both make some moves. They're just built very similar. And the only reason why, but the Panthers, in my opinion, they're just. I think it's still.
Well, see, I was about to say, like,
rebuild, so
yeah, we know us. Yeah, we know us. See, he tried to keep kicking us while we down.
No, I'm not.
My thing is that yes, you are.
I'm not.
Nah, so my
fine.
Hold on.
Talk about your Panthers.
I swear I said that at some point in time, and he just didn't care. But no, so my question is this then, and this is I'm gonna throw this to the group because again, you told us already you got Falcons and Saints fighting for that top spot. I don't know if you was watching though, but the Bucks really just got to the playoffs. Now I know going back and winning it back-to-back years, that's tough to do. I think they did do that though. They're the first team to do that from our division. So what is keeping? And I know what's that main reason? Just that main reason for you right now.
I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's because I hate the Bucks. Because I do. I look at I like history, and I think we were talking about this earlier. I look at the history of like players. And I don't have anything against Baker Mayfield, I just noticed the type of player that he is. Like he plays really. He's like a Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick was Fitzmagic when there was what? No expectation. You played when there was nobody. Let's be real. Nobody was counting the Bucks to really win the division this past season. Nobody and you look at how things were going in training camp for Baker Mayfield. He was overthrowing his receivers and all this stuff, and then somehow, whatever happened, everybody just sucked, and they were just the ones that were able to gain the most momentum to win the division. And even then, it was close because let's be real, they got in at 9-8. The Saints were also 9-8. So there's
close.
that aspect of it. It was really close.
That's too bad this ain't horseshoes.
It's not.
But
you look at
I got this.
Right? What happens now? He got paid. He got paid when he was in Cleveland, and then when there was expectations, he flopped.
Well, let me see.
Now he's got expectations to go back and win the division again.
Let me see this though, because let me ask these two boys here, because to be fair, he just said that the AFC North is better. Like I call it a little NFC South slander. So do y'all feel like there is going to be pressure to sway someone like Baker to not get back to that playoff? Is there going to be enough pressure to put on Baker to make him falter?
I mean, I'm just going to say this.
I feel like there wasn't pressure on our team.
In terms of continuity pattern, I mean, the AFC South has just, the last couple of years, really been disappointing in the way they handle their off seasons.
NFC South, yeah.
NFC South, sorry. And so it's been very aggressively mediocre, to say the least. I'd like to see what happens with the Saints and Falcons.
Yes.
And the Panthers.
Thank you.
But for me, I just think that right now, the most consistency and the person with the most who already has a relationship or rapport with their players is Todd Bowles in that Buccaneers team. And I'm just, I don't want to be that guy, but I just think because I think Baker actually plays his best, not when no one's looking, but when everyone's looking and calling him a bust, a joke. That he sucks.
Oh, I don't know about that, because when he came onto my team, I know I got a recording of someone saying, "Imagine you trading for Baker and thinking that you wanted to trade." And that was said when he got to my team. So there have been notions that he was trash and he was not that. But I feel like
you had expectations when you got Baker Mayfield, and then he did not meet those expectations.
No, he met them. He met them. They were negative expectations, and he met them. So that's what I'm saying. Like I hear you, because when you usually put eyes on somebody, all right, now we get to see who you are. Going to basketball real quick. It's called get a bucket. So I get to throw my little, you know what I'm saying? There. D-Lo. We keep saying, oh, he not that good because of one bad series, but now he cooking. So like we didn't have eyes on him, but now we got eyes on him. So he's turning up his production a little bit. And so I'm curious that that'll happen with Baker.
And I'm very sorry that I have to do this. But how much of that fell on the Panthers?
A lot.
Because look what happened with Bryce Young.
Can we compare Baker to Sam? I think Sam. Sam to me looked more competent with us than Baker did. That's like, we can talk about smaller sample size, whatever the case may be.
Trying to do too much. Sam was a better game manager, but he was more. He just seemed.
He was trying to
Here's the other unknown.
He seemed more content with taking out.
I'll throw this out there. The one thing that might help Baker this upcoming season, I'll throw this out there. He has a different offensive coordinator, and I think it's a guy who was like an offensive line coach back when he was on the Rams.
Okay.
So there could be some of that continuity right there that might help.
That can help out. Yeah, you're right.
So that's one of the facts that I might not be factoring in with my opinion on it. I just think if I'm gonna pick two teams that I think have the most to like kind of prove and show that, because I think it's also gonna be one of those things where I look at my team. DA, he knows if he doesn't win and make it to the playoffs, he's out as a head coach. So he has a lot to prove. I think Raheem Morris, this is his second go-around as a head coach, so he wants to prove that he's grown from his mistakes, right? Because he was the head coach of the Bucks at one point and got let out for that, even though it wasn't really his fault. So he's hungry and he wants to
black
show.
Head coaches don't have it,
and that's
a lot
the
of them
thing.
have a very short leash.
Exactly.
Interim
So
too.
he's going to have a lot to show.
Shout out Steve Wilkes.
Well. So
Okay.
there's that aspect of it too. I think those two guys are going to be probably the most hungry. I know I respect Todd Bowles, but I also think like them winning the playoff, getting to the playoffs, winning the division the last 2 years.
That puts a
He wouldn't
bulldog.
be at risk of losing his job if they didn't make it.
That's fair.
So that's putting a bullseye on them. The other teams are hungry. I get that too.
here's what
I
I'm saying.
genuinely do.
You sign a guy who understands the system. And yes, the system will change a little bit under a new offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that you go about your daily life isn't going to change much for Baker. He's comfortable there now. You look at the way that the Falcons went out, got a guy who was playing up north and tore his Achilles, who's also in his 30s, and gave him $180 million when you had Justin Fields in the same division, young, 26 years old. I'm sorry, less than 26 years old, with more than enough ability to at least be able to. I mean, you're talking about a 1,000-yard rushing quarterback. Why is nobody? We were just singing Michael Vick's praises.
I'll throw this out there. I was afraid Justin was going to go to the Falcons because he's from Atlanta, and I like him as a person. But here's what makes no sense to me, and I hate to throw you out there, but the Falcons, there was no way you cannot convince me otherwise that they did not have the resources to go pull Lamar Jackson from Baltimore.
It seems like that's a thing, right? Like they're going out of their way.
They could have got Lamar Jackson if they wanted.
Can I throw this out there? But I don't know because Desmond Ritter. But even
I never had faith in Desmond Ritter.
But I'm just saying, as a black quarterback, because he is mixed. He looks like Logic, but he's
don't throw Logic out there, bro.
And I'm just saying that is this fear because of what Michael Vick did and the rhetoric behind that bringing in a young black quarterback to a city that's to the blackest city in America is not, you'd think that would be profitable, but maybe that's a narrative that they don't want anymore. Why would they go get this broke down white quarterback
because
who's proven to not be a consistent
playoff
contender?
I can answer that right now. You want to take it first?
Yeah. Because they saw what Matt did, and they think that Kirk could somewhat lead them to the promised land.
I think there's a little bit different resources though on the Falcons nowadays compared to back then.
I will back you up.
But I hear it. I hear the logic.
Okay. Besides whatever Carolina got. Because it's facts. Yeah. Because
I'm about to say you the last person to talk about this here topic because we still got one more to talk about.
That's fine, but still. Besides the Bucks, the Falcons, and the Saints, those are probably the three teams that is literally going to be a horse race to get the division. Anything besides winning the division or get a home game in the playoffs, those two other teams is going to have questions going into the offseason.
And that's why I think our team, our conference as a whole is so interesting because if you really dissect it and break it down, a good 3 out of the 4 teams in the NFC South are pretty much similar. Everybody's following the same model. You have the Bucks offense, the Falcons offense, and the Saints offense are all following basically the same system. So it's going to be a matter of who can execute it the best. Mm-hmm. And Kirk Cousins, it makes sense why he would go to Atlanta because Zach Robinson, similar offense to Kevin O'Connell. They have rapport because Zach Robinson was an assistant in Washington. So there's rapport there.
That tree is worth.
That tree is very, very fruitful with a lot of young assistants that are now becoming offensive coordinators. In the NFL, a copycat league.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. So at this point, I just want to say, Panthers, start copycatting someone productive. Please look at the top, go all the way down. Please, at some point in time, I'd greatly appreciate it. And matter of fact, just have people retire at this point. And that's what I like to do. But look,
be so quick to fire,
fire. No. Fire people. Fire people.
Oh, yeah.
Not the players though. People, as in management.
So
like I said, retire. Right. We're gonna transition.
Okay.
On to the next topic. You ain't got no would you rather, do you?
Keep flowing.
Pat. Although I did told them though, the transition would be, would you rather? So now you make me look like a liar on TV.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
no.
That's crazy. I'm a politician out here in these streets now.
I love it.
So look, here's what we're gonna do.
I got a would you rather.
Ooh,
That was interesting. We're gonna do this quick then.
okay.
We're gonna do this quick, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna time it too.
Mhm.
It's 7:37 right now,
Okay.
live.
Okay.
We're gonna be done by 7:40 on this would you rather. What you got for me?
All right, let's say you're an NFL quarterback of a franchise. Would you rather go out, grab the most money as possible as you can, and grab your bag
Mhm.
for the longevity of your career,
Mhm.
or would you rather pull a Tom Brady / Mahomes and take a hometown discount so you can have the pieces around you to go at it every year consistently and win Super Bowls?
Hometown discount.
Hometown discount.
Yeah, hometown.
Success is gonna bring me more money
Yeah.
than me taking that contract.
Ad revenue alone is going to be more than reported in that contract.
So do you?
Value stipulations.
So from that standpoint, do you believe? And you bring up this team. Do you believe the Dallas Cowboys would be more successful had Dak Prescott taken a hometown discount rather than?
I think anybody could.
I think anybody could, but only a few people can pull it off.
And-
And Prescott isn't good enough quarterback.
He's not.
to be able to be like,
I also
you
look
build
at
the
the
pieces around
situation.
me, I'll get you a shit.
I think if you put good enough, like the right pieces, the right pieces around, and they're healthy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, CD Lamb.
The defense was a little.
Ezekiel Elliott.
I get it. I get you. You shouldn't have lost to the Packers. I'm not excusing that.
Okay.
But like, CD's still kind of young too. I can't put him as a bonus. He had a good season. He had a good season. What did he do the season before? And then the season before that. And the season before. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got that consistency yet from CD. So that's the only thing I'm saying. Like, CD, you're good. You're a good talent. But it's that consistency. So like, I do think there's a world where they could. But I do think every quarterback probably should take a discount though. Because you need your team. Like Brady showed it. And I think there are better quarterbacks talent-wise than Brady.
But could I also argue that Brady's an outlier? Because I think because let's not act like he took the discount just to take the discount. He also had a multi-million-dollar wife on the side too that was wealthy in her own right, so he could afford to take discounts to help his team at the time. Dak Prescott.
When you say we can afford to take, and I'm not trying to count people's pockets. I'm not trying to know what people's lives look. I know I'm saying you got to like help people out and stuff like that. But we're talking about millions of dollars, respectfully, and then you bring in success on that too. Again, that brings in more money. So this afford to take it, I feel like take a discount. I kind of look at it as
you're still making money. What are you playing football for?
like
So either way, you're gonna be a millionaire.
You're gonna be
like,
good.
Unless you're an asshole, you're gonna stay a millionaire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just have to realize what part of this, what makes this game matter to me. And it's like I only want winning mentality if I'm building a franchise.
And manage your money properly too, because people go broke.
Because as much as we can easily all sit here and say that, what was the issue that we had a couple of years ago? Why was it so hard for like Lamar Jackson to get his contract? Because everybody assumed there was that one outlier with Deshaun Watson getting that 5-year, $230 million guarantee. That was not the way the projections for like quarterback salaries was going, and then that caused a whole rift between like the Joe Burrow and the Justin Herbert and the Jalen Hurts and Lamar. All those guys that were coming to get their bag. They want that fully guaranteed now. So now it's like
it's a copycat league, like you said though. But I don't think you need to and this is a life thing too. I love sports, but it's a microcosm of life. You don't need to copycat everybody. Just because one person goes through something in life, goes through one journey, you don't have to do that same thing. So I get it. Deshaun Watson got a bag. I'm happy for Deshaun.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Deshaun's overall life situation, though. Do I really want that? Like, I'm good. I'd rather, you know what? I'd rather have a Super Bowl. I think if Deshaun Watson had a Super Bowl, realistically, you'd have a little bit better narrative of Deshaun Watson than what we have right now. So I'd rather have a Super Bowl, not get into something, and have a safe, solid, productive life. But it's also 7:40, so I just want to let y'all know that.
You know that scene at the end of Spider-Man where he walks into where he like walks by the coffee shop and sees his friends and keeps it moving, starts his whole new life. That's Deshaun every time he walks past the massage parlor.
I did not know that was
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta retire. We gotta retire the Would You Rather. That was the last one. Not ever, but just for this show. But that's a nice transition onto the next and final topic.
Sports is one of the few things that genuinely connects us together. Whether with coworkers, friends, family, we all love the entertainment. Well, here on Get a Bucket, my goal is to talk about sports and its cultural impact. The WNBA, for example. The WNBA is loads of entertainment, from the new rookies battling, displaying their skill sets, and preparing to take the league by storm, to the titans and the MVPs of the league clashing for battles we'll always remember. From imagining the soon-to-be possibilities, to admiring and treasuring the finales. Get a Bucket is a platform where other sports analysts, hoopers, coaches, and fans of the show come and talk about the WNBA, both negatives and positives. So if you haven't, take a quick peek. At the very least, you'll have a good time. Remember, sports is one of the few things that genuinely connects us together. So please, tune in and stay connected.
And Nick, we got to bring it to you because you brought this one up, okay? But I'm gonna have them talk real quick so that we can end on a good note, right? So real quick, because I need to make sure he gets his time in. Aaron Donald retiring. This is a 3-time depoy, arguably one of the greatest players we've seen in the game. No arguably about it. One of the greatest players we've seen in this game. Arguably the best player we can say we watched during our tenure of watching football. Like that, I think that's a factual statement. What's your surprise factor on him retiring at 32? Fuck, 32. Well, I guess too. Well, now he also bigger than everybody, so I feel like that's kind of young. He like a year older than me, so damn. But I ain't been hitting people like that too, though. So he's a little different. What's y'all surprise factor?
My surprise factor is he did it on his own terms.
When you say did it on his own terms, what you mean? Like how do you?
What I mean is, because there was talks like after the Super Bowl, this was going to be his last year.
Mm-hmm.
First, as a first home, before you do anything, they got to talk to your family, make sure like this is the route that you want to go.
Right.
The wife say, no, after that, do what you got to do for like a couple more years, and then call it a career. But surprisingly, that he did that this early and through his peak of his career, I'm surprised at.
Okay.
Man, he will definitely get a yellow jacket in 10 years.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. But you were surprised though at that because
surprised.
Okay, how out of curiosity, just list off the amount of years. You don't have to do anything else. How many more years did you expect him to play?
I would say 2.
Okay. How about yourself? Are you in line with the shock factor from him retiring? You were kind of surprised. Okay.
Same thing. I honestly did not. I did not foreshadow getting a notification on my phone a few hours ago of him retiring, especially because again we had this conversation and it was all like, if you're gonna retire, you want to do it like you might as well retire along with the left tackle who retired, Andrew Whitworth. Retire together. Yeah. And you wouldn't have anything to prove at that point. You made it. The only thing he really wanted at that time was to get that ring, and he did it. And he accomplished what he wanted. So I would have thought retiring at 30, but okay. And he continued to play on. And I thought, honestly, I felt like he could have continued going until he was like 35. Like another 3 years of Aaron Donald, taking on double teams from the offensive line. Do you really think his production would have dripped off that much?
Well, no.
So I do think he still has a lot left in the tank, but I think he's also looking at it like, hey,
he has a lot left in the tank.
Maybe family played a factor in, and maybe he's looking at it from like the thing that we don't talk about with the NFL, right? They make millions, but they don't have health benefits like a lot of us citizens do. So maybe he's looking at it like, I want to have a longer term shelf life, even if it means I have to limit my football career. We saw that with Luke
Andrew Luck.
Kuechly could have kept going, and he chose to retire unexpectedly.
Yep,
And,
Andrew Luck.
well,
So
Andrew
yeah,
Luck was
there's
also
Losing
injury
this whole
prone.
podcast.
yeah, there's show. Make
Andrew
sure
Luck got hurt a lot, though, so I
show.
can understand why he chose to retire. Same with
And if I'm gonna lose, at least get the terminology right. Okay, so you said 2 years, you said 3 years. Both of y'all shocked. I kind of agree with you. I thought he could give another 3 years run. You and I talked about this months ago, and you actually said he's going to retire this year.
Yeah.
I like I said, I thought he would have had a few more seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, if you might want to reconsider, like I got a FanDuel pick, which y'all boys win the Super Bowl. So if you would be so kind as to unretire,
And it's in New Orleans this year, bro.
you know what I mean? Hey, what happens in Nolan stays in Nolan.
Go hang out down there.
So so obviously you weren't shocked though.
Not as much, but it's definitely still hits.
It still hits. Where do you see then the Rams going? Losing Aaron Donald, that was the big reason why I thought they could get to the Super Bowl next year.
Well, earlier we talked about Chase Young. Oh,
Chase
you know
Young could be a replacement.
Chase
He's
Young's
25 years old.
25 years old.
Now,
if you can trade him to have that dog,
let me throw this out there though, because I got to give my boy credit. Young rookie Kobe Turner went to Centerville High School. Old teammate of mine, young boy. I played with his brother AJ. You know, he's gonna be that captain. He's gonna be that replacement, that defensive line spot. So Kobe, you got this, man. It's on your shoulders now.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a little love for Kobe.
Bro.
All right, so
yeah.
Damn.
I mean,
Aaron Donald.
It's really sad, but it's like relieving because it's like you don't walk away from football unless you really are like
done.
Yeah, because it's something that you've been wanting for your entire life. And
that's sports in general too.
You had to go through so many naysayers, and there's only a small fraction of people in this nation that play the game that you love so much. You know, so it's not always easy to just walk away from it. Jason Kelsey, prime example, with the Eagles. Look at all
his
for Howie
heart
Roseman
out
over here doing all these GM moves, Saquon Barkley, this and that, and he over here like, oh man, we better come back and play center real quick.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's not something easy to just like walk away from.
Yeah. What's outside of the championship, outside of the 3-time depoys? What's something, and mind you, I don't even know if I have the best answer for this because I'm not even the biggest Aaron Donald fan. I respect his game though. So no. When I say that, I mean like I don't study Aaron Donald.
You hear him, man?
I don't. Well, I'm not the biggest football head. It's called get a bucket, not get a tackle, not get a touchdown, not get a pick six, get a bucket. But like, what outside of the 3-time depoy, outside of the championship, what's something you guys would say? And we'll start with you. What's something you will always remember about Aaron Donald with his retirement?
That motherfucker was a football player. That boy was fierce.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fierce. He was a dog. You know what I mean? Like, you listen to like the mic'd up with him, and it's like, somebody get the fuck out of my face. You know what I'm saying? His teammates going, hey man, nice sack. Get the fuck out of my face. You know what I'm saying? Smacking people, doing knife training in the off season to learn how to get his hands quick enough. Having motherfuckers stab at him, and he's knocking their hands away. To learn how to become, martial arts, like literally doing anything in his power to get a quicker first hand than anybody I've ever seen play football.
That is crazy.
He puts his hands on people and doesn't let go. Doesn't matter what they do.
Grown
men, Tyron Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Makes them look like children.
Yeah, it's kind of wild out there. What's your?
I was gonna say, and let's not forget this too. To be able to be as elite and as crazy as he was, and let's not forget this. He was an undersized defensive lineman. That mofo was only like, I'm like 5'11", 6 foot. He's 6'1", and he was able to do what he did at that size.
You say he undersized?
He's
for
a defensive tackle.
Chris Jones is like 6'5".
Yes, he's a shorter defensive.
Undersized and Aaron Donald, I did not think would ever go in the same sentence. But
I mean, he's got the bulkiness. Don't get me wrong, but the height.
Yeah, because
be that small, but and because you don't see guys his size making it a whole lot in the NFL. He is a
anomaly.
A very
name out of
anomaly.
Out of a vault of football lore. So I'm a nerd. this sport, John Randall.
Yes.
John Randall.
Yes.
Okay. That's not okay.
That was the last brother who was that small doing what he did at defensive tackle.
Okay.
And he didn't. And I mean, we don't talk about Hall of Famers.
Oh, okay. So you're in good company. What are you outside of the championship, outside of 3-time depoys, and outside of what these two boys said? What do you remember about Aaron Donald?
He might be the scariest motherfucker that I've seen since Lawrence F. Taylor. Wins work on that. You never seen a cat from Pittsburgh that literally eat from day one. And I mean not like eat, but I'm like eating in day one in one of the toughest in the business in all of football. You got to deal with San Fran twice, the Cardinals twice, and Seattle twice, and you hold your own for 10 years.
Mm.
I agree with Devin. Like, I've never seen a 6'1" DT do anything like that in my life.
Yeah. And to put it in perspective, right? Like, would you say that you would be more fearful of Aaron Donald being in front of you than Calais Campbell, who's 6'6"? You know how big Calais Campbell. He played on your defensive line for the Ravens, and you saw how big that dude was.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be in front of Aaron Donald.
I'm at you the Ravens, but you know how big Calais Campbell was. Would you say that you're more afraid of Aaron Donald than Calais Campbell? Oh, absolutely. So that just goes to show how crazy that guy
Very
was.
feared. Okay.
Never feared that headline. They used to make fun. They were making fun of him in training camp. I think it was the Raiders. They were practice squadding with the Rams. They were making fun of Aaron Donald and stuff.
That's crazy. I wasn't the biggest fan, right? Only because I'm a basketball fan. But learning that this man actually got double teamed more often than anybody else and led the league in sacks consistently, and that is disgusting work, bro. Like, that just shows to your level of dominance and greatness. Like, anybody can be great. Again, going back to basketball, there's moments where Zion looks unstoppable, but the consistency isn't there for me. But I get that from Aaron Donald, so I appreciate seeing that from him. So I just wanted to make sure everybody gave their flowers to Aaron. And obviously, it's going to be very tough to see another guy like him. Okay. But if there was anybody in the league right now, just list names. You don't got to list no reasons, nothing like that. Who's one person? Y'all hear me? One person, no reasonings. We ain't got to do all that. We just talked about Aaron Donald. Who would y'all want to see, or who do y'all expect to be the next Aaron Donald? I put that in quotations. So, who
does it have to be a defensive lineman? Because I can name a defensive player who I think is on the same.
I'll let you do defensive players. So we're gonna start off with Chris, and then go like that.
It's pain for me to say this. TJ
Watt. All right. Watt power.
Yes, sir.
It's pain for me to say it.
All right. Who you got?
I gotta go with two guys: Fred Warner, Demario Davis.
You gotta choose one though.
I think I'm gonna go with the younger guy, just because I love Demario, not because he's on my team, but he's getting up there in age a little bit. But I'm gonna go with Fred because he's a little younger. You see how he flies around on that field for that 49ers defense, which is not easy to play for.
Okay.
I think Fred, the way he tackles, the way he hits, and he's still young, and he does everything that you would need out of a middle linebacker: pursuit, pass coverage, everything.
Okay.
He's that guy.
How about yourself?
Yeah, it's a pretty hard question. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have to say, just in terms of the way that he's feared in the league now, and the consistency, just based off again, just the physical talent, Myles Garrett. Probably.
Forgot about Myles Garrett.
Forgot about Myles.
Yeah,
Myles Garrett.
That's tough. That's a good one.
Myles,
damn.
That is a good one. I wasn't thinking about the AFC North. My bad.
That's tough.
That is a good one.
All right, so tell me. All right, so is it fair to go Michael Parsons?
No.
Yes.
No.
I get 2 no's and a yes. I
No.
appreciate you. So we all right. I on the consistency piece, I'm not trying to argue.
Okay. That's why I'm saying no.
I say
Because
that
don't
I
think
say
he's
the
consistent.
next Aaron Donald, I think him. But I do hear you. I do hear you though. So what we gonna do is we're gonna table this one, right? Because I do think that leads to another discussion. Okay, well, who's gonna be the next big, defensive player in the league, right? But that's gonna be on another episode, ladies and gentlemen. So you got a verbal confirmation. We will be back. We will be back. But I hope you all enjoyed this. Fellas, y'all have anything you want to say before we close up shop?
If for the first time Ravens and Steelers fans and got together and find no crazy shit happening, I'll take that.
Bad, my boy.
Thank you for everything you've done for the game, Aaron.
That
Love
too.
watching
That too.
Okay.
Go inside. I also just want to say thank you to you, our host, Trey, for inviting me onto the show. This is my first time being here. It's been a pleasure to sit around with you guys and just get to pick y'all brains and just about like talking sports and life situations. Hopefully I'll be back here again to give y'all some more knowledge.
Oh yeah, I appreciate all y'all boys for always coming on to the show. And fun fact as well, the more y'all come up, the more y'all can actually be involved. Like he's actually officially on part of the Get a Bucket crew now. So, I appreciated this conversation. It was a good one. I appreciate y'all giving y'all time, y'all effort, y'all energy. And y'all definitely will be back up here. So, but with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will close up shop. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone about the show. My name is Trey. I'm the host of Get a Bucket. Hope you all have a good one. Take care.
Oh, I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word.